Read the disclaimer. Alrighty, hello everyone and welcome to the Weekend Review where we recap the previous week and anything extra. Okay, we actually are doing a special one because this is actually at the end of the month. So I thought, hey, we'll do it on a Saturday morning. There'll be nothing for the Sunday, whatever. A bunch of other stuff to talk about. Someone reminded me to do that at the end of this live before I sign off. But obviously, our big topic for, I guess, the morning is going to be the World Championship, among some other small things, whatever, for Hasbro updates, and in general, we'll kind of progress through it. I was supposed to do, like, a recap of the week for uploads, but there was literally nothing. I think 2 uploads, so I'm like, it doesn't really make any sense to do yet. Where am I? I'm here. So I don't know, you can tell me what was your favorite video this month. This month, I really tried to push myself. Mostly just because, May's 31 days, so that's 1 extra day to end off the month with. So, I thought, capitalize pretty good on it, but a lot of review stuff, news coverage, whatever. I think I've been just really working on a lot of the formatting and the editing for a lot of these videos, so that's been a lot of fun. But this chair is really going to make an annoying sound for the rest of this live, isn't it? What else do we got? Obviously, our shout-outs to the channel members right here. Do a quick shout-out here. Shout-outs to... Oh, okay, this actually is really blurry for me. I have to actually get this on my screen. One sec. Shout-out to Perseus, channel member... Here we go. Matt Seymour, Extreme Beyblade, Mohad Adland, Matt Mighty Penguin, Kimono Kabarit, I probably messed that up. Nick's Nerd Cave, Johannes, SD Seb. If I butchered any of the names, I apologize. It is an optional way to support the channel. I appreciate any and all support regardless. Okay, where am I now? I am right here. Okay, there we go. I have to remember I have to move myself a little bit up because the lighting's a little bit weird on the virtual studio. Okay, so what have I been up to? As we can see on the screen, gym. This week especially, I've been trying to push myself to go to the gym a little bit more, but also spending longer time. So the previous week, I did 3 sessions, but they're pretty much the normal time I would have done in 2 sessions, because usually I do an hour and a half, but last week was like 3 hours. This week I think was almost... I did 1 hour, I basically did 1 extra hour, around 4 hours, like 1 hour session, 1 hour 20, 1 hour 30, but yeah, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. I've been able to actually be a lot more active, which I'm a little bit surprised with, because usually I'm just fearful that, I don't know, I could potentially get really sore, and then after pull a muscle or something, or tear something. That's always the biggest fear, but no, yeah, it's been going actually pretty good. I'm trying to do my best as possible, mostly just because in June, which is not going to be fun. If you saw in March, I had to get my wisdom teeth done. I got 1 half done, and the other half is in early June. So probably in early June-ish, whatever, and probably near that mid-June, because it at least takes over a week of recovery. I'm probably not going to be able to upload anything. I'll try to force myself if it's like news or whatever, just because, got to pay those bills and everything. But yeah, that's the important update, just to get out of the way. Wisdom teeth is no fun, and it's like really close to the nerve, so it's like a lot of pain and slowly dying. But yeah, aside from that, that's kind of pretty much the most important stuff for June. This thing is not loading for me. Okay, next up, what do we have on here? Next up, what I've been up to, Anime North. Last weekend was Anime North. It was super fun to meet a lot of fans, and we are the main sponsor for the Beyblade North event for all 3 days. Huge shout out to anyone who came to say hi and help support our store, and obviously the amazing community of the Ontario Beyblade community. Super large event. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's kind of it for the Anime North talk. I mean, not really much else happened. I didn't play those days. I did record quite a bit, but yeah. Moving on, what else do we got? Oh, the other thing I've been up to, working a lot on the thumbnails and whatever. I think I've been able to really make a very nice design so far for the channel to make it really look unique, and I'm very much proud of this. That's in just general editing, whatever. I think I am getting better over time, which is ideally what should be happening, so I'm content. I am content. Okay, what else do we got here? Oh, small Hasbro news. To the 3 people that actually care, Dronzer and Drigger are both on Amazon. They should be on my Amazon affiliate link. If not, I have to go add it. And I do have to figure out Amazon Canada, because I still don't have the affiliate on there, which is really weird, but I do earn a little bit of commission. It is a little bit weird that... Yeah, that they just did this now. It's also confusing because it's like, so they did like original color for like Dronzer, where there was like a red one, I think it was like in America, and then after Europe it was like Vomit Teal or whatever. Other stuff as well, in pretty much most of Ontario, I would say, all of Wave 5 is launched with the custom line and all that stuff. There's no Garuda or Wolf, which is really weird, and I don't really know what counts as Wave 5, but since they launched it, that was the wave that appeared and came out with those 2-packs, so it's clear that Wave 5 is just something really giant where it's this and that. There's no Garuda yet or Wolf. There has been in other regions. In Ontario, there has not been any Dagger or Whale, which is really weird. I don't really understand how they launched this. Wasn't this intended for July or something? Or wasn't it August, then it moved to July, then it moved to June? I don't know. Really odd, though. If you care about these 2 bays, know your seal, though. I guess fuck your seal, right? You know? Because, I mean, at that point, if you're going to do those, just do the other one as well. It's just, okay, sure, why not? Oh, I forgot I did this. They're doing a collaboration with, I don't know, with San Diego Baseball, sure. I don't know what that's going to entail. It's going to actually be, like, a recolor bay that releases something exciting. Maybe it's just going to be like stickers or whatever. I don't really know what this actually means. I think it's, I mean, they're doing something that the Asia region has been doing with partnering with sports teams, whatever, so I guess that's kind of neat. I don't know. I don't know if this is like a big announcement for baseball or something. I don't pay attention to baseball. So I don't know. I guess what else do we got next? Oh, okay, this is on the rant thing, so we're going to go kind of back there. So most of this is going to be now talking about the championship. Oh, I'm in the void. Most of this is going to be talking about the championship stuff, and then after I will read chat in between a bit. Do you think Hasbro is going to release a left winder launcher by itself? Probably not. I don't know. Probably not. Okay. I have to get my phone for this, because this is going to be a long rant. Now, I do want to be clear, right? We're going to be constructive here. There's not going to just be a shitting on Hasbro. Oh, let's kick them while they're down. No, we're actually going to go over this as constructive as we can. Okay. So, here we go. I have to remember I have to be like this when I'm posing. Okay. So, if we recall the original statement for Beyblade X that they've been pushing, and someone can cite this, because I remember there was... I think this was like a Yahoo Japan Finance article, but they have specified, right, that a lot of the profit and money that they do get is from adults or older players. What is the thing you see constantly pushed in Beyblade X? Adults. In marketing, it's adults. In the advertisement, it's adults. They're trying to push this where, hey, Beyblade X is open to all ages, not just a younger audience, right? That is something that is really, really smart, because obviously a lot of older players are going to be carrying the hobby for what profit that they're going to be gaining, and it makes sense that they would acknowledge this and push for things like, for an example, an open tournament where all ages can play, all this stuff, this Masters thing, whatever. It makes sense to do so. Well, that's for the Asia region, right? When you come to this side, right, which I will say is probably Hasbro's territory for what they've been managing, it's not been good. So we're going to be talking about this whole World Championship fiasco thing, where some regions, for an example, have, let's say, the younger class, that's like 8 to 12 or whatever, and then after some, very few, which I'll get into, have like open to that 13 plus, like adults, all that stuff, whatever. Now, regardless, I think either way it's important to acknowledge that it's a great opportunity to still do a World Championship. It's a great opportunity for the kids and young teens to play and have an opportunity to make some good memories. I think that's a good thing that they're doing. However, I feel that it's very confusing how they're picking and choosing for that 13 plus, for that older adult side of a lot of players that they just, I don't know what they're doing. So for an example here, I think this is what? This is Toronto, Canada. So we don't actually have anything. We have for ages 8 and 12, and then after there's going to be something there, whatever, and there's in some of the other provinces, whatever. There's no 13 plus for any of the sections at all, which I felt really like upset with. I'm like, hey, you know, why not Canada? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's unfortunate. So I was checking other places for an example. So for an example, in Mexico, they do have multiple 8 and 12, but they do have an opportunity for what? 13 plus event for that older audience of players that can play. I think that's great for Mexico. They have a great opportunity. That's awesome. What else do we have here? We're on the next screenshot. I have to pull this up, actually. Hold on. Give me one sec. But, so, I think after Mexico, it should be the US screenshot, right? I have to see, because my thing does not let me view this properly. What are we on? We're in Mexico, and then after... Yes, and then after this is the US side. US has Anime Expo, which is really weird, because for Anime Expo, they didn't do that much advertising for it, like at all. Like at all. Like for such a big event for Anime Expo, which is what, 128 people, I'm pretty sure for an example that it's first come, first serve, which is really, really sucky. Because one, you're going to go up to something, you can't even just try to sign up or whatever. Maybe they try to do like some lottery randomize where if there is an excess amount of players, they'll randomize for someone to get in. You have to pay for what? Parking potentially, hotels, that day in the convention. And it's not even a guarantee. And no advertisement properly done. No proper announcement. There's been more fans discussing the lack of announcements and trying to dig than there actually has been by the official brand account. That is embarrassing. That is very, very embarrassing. They are the official account, and they have posted fuck all for any of these countries. I think other than Australia, right? Let me pull this up, actually. Where is this? Where is this? So the only actual thing they've posted is, hey, we'll do an announcement soon. Where the fuck was the announcement? People found the site. I don't count that shit. Where's the Instagram post? Where's the YouTube channel post? Where's Instagram stories? Where's a proper post on this? There is no marketing at all for this. They are not putting their actual effort into advertising what is the biggest thing that is happening for their brand right now, the World Championship. It does not make any sense to me. Does this make any sense? Does this make any sense in marketing? You don't say shit at all? Like, maybe give them benefit of the doubt. Maybe they signed some contract or whatever and they're only allowed to announce it at a certain point in time. Maybe something crazy shit like that. I don't know. But to me, right? If you're going to be thinking about this, doesn't the Asia region, like for an example in Japan, announce these tournaments months and months and months ahead of time? To where you know, like so far in advance? And here it's almost like it's next month and you have to get ready for it. They aren't putting that much effort or care and understanding to, for an example, okay, this is how the Asia region had it set up. How can we do this, let's say, in America or Mexico or Australia? But maybe, and I'll get to in a moment, I am fairly sure that they are working with specific, like I know, for example, the Australian side, they are working with Hasbro. So there is something there where parts of the divisions in Hasbro do understand certain aspects, but other things, I don't know. But I do want to go further into this. So for an example, if I were to look at the places, there's no Canada, no UK, no France, no New Zealand, no Germany. There's no 13 plus events for that older fans, whatever. Okay, so Mexico has one and the United States has one. So I tried to think, okay, well, maybe it's the reason for maybe they have a lot of population and they think that's where we'll put our investment into. But then after I thought about it like this, I'm like, well, hold on. Wait a minute. Australia has 2 chances for a 13 plus event. Isn't the population of Australia significantly less than these other places? What this doesn't make any sense to me. This doesn't. Why does US, if US has the most out of everyone, so why doesn't the US get like at least 2 chances? I don't understand. Like, I think it's good that Australia does have 2 different chances for like this 13 plus event or whatever. I think that's awesome. But why are they picking and choosing? This shit does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why does one have but not the other? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It does not make any sense to me. You have clearly a very dedicated fan base that you're trying to push for all ages, and you're not doing anything with it. So what else do we have? Okay, so this is the other thing I wanted to mention. So I think something good that Hasbro is doing, and something we are going to kind of push for a positive before we go into it, because we're trying to be constructive here. I'm going to put this here, because this is the segue into it, which is how do we fix it? I think, for starters right now, if you're going to be doing some petition, whatever, you got to understand, this shit is already set and done. They have already set up all these locations. They're not going to, because there's like 100 signatures, whatever, suddenly to try to open up another one. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's being realistic. I think what Hasbro does need to do is they do need to connect more with the actual fan base in the communities. Like, for an example, like on the influencer side, you have top creators like BBG, Illinois, me, of course, calling all this out. And in general, you have many other creators trying to think, Let's Spin Bays, Nizuma. You have bladers who are building communities who want to do work to promote Beyblade. Hasbro, first thought should be, work with these influencers, bounce off ideas, get feedback or advice. I think that makes a lot of sense. Or connect with the communities. For an example, we have the Ontario Beyblade community. I'm sure New Zealand has a very big community there. United Kingdom, etc. Connect with the communities. Work together, because they need to understand this, that when they work with, let's say, influencers or fans or these big communities, they get the big benefit where more people get into the hobby, they get more profit, and Beyblade can continue on and live longer. Do you want to happen where we got like the burst era of Quad Strike? No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that shit. Nobody wants that at all. What else do I have on my little notepad right here? This is actually the other thing I wanted to talk about also, where I feel this is kind of something I haven't seen anybody say, and if they have, then I'm late to the party, but didn't Hasbro announce something with Wizards of the Coast or something along those lines, or the Wizards Player Network? So, why doesn't Hasbro partner with hobby shops or actually try to push actual tournaments and events? They have not been actually pushing the hobby. Aside from the World Championships, Hasbro has done fuck all for actual tournaments. I guess if you want to maybe say the occasional GameStop or maybe EB Games, but for actually I don't know. I've seen more hobby shops that aren't really working with Hasbro at all, or even fan stuff, do a better job of trying to organize and build tournaments and events than actually Hasbro. And it's so frustrating, because I do want Hasbro to succeed, because at the end of the day, the longer this hobby goes, the better, and the better that they can win, the more that we as fans can win. I don't get it. I think the issue, it's just like old heads in marketing. And by the way, this is not some new revelation or whatever. I've done 2 videos, right? 2 videos where I've sacrificed whatever sponsorship I can get from Hasbro, talking about the poor handlement of, let's say, the marketing team there, how they talk about the bays, how they actually respond to the fans. I want to point this out there, because I'm just saying, but for the longest time in the Burst era, I was the only one actually asking them questions at the toy fair before they just dipped and they replaced someone else who didn't know any of the stuff. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. If I pretend to be 8 to 12 years old, do you think they'll let me play? Next question. What do we got? This is bullshit. I agree. True. But I think if they try to connect more with the communities, try to actually listen, I think that's where we're going to win. Now, there actually was a very good tweet done by the Australian Twitter. I believe this is actually Beyblade TV now. I might be confusing them. But this is actually a very good thing, and I'll link this tweet at the end of this live, and I'll do a pinned comment. But very, very easy example here of how to do something proper if you want to get your voice heard. I'm going to preface it by saying, if you do want your voice to be heard, you have to be as respectful as possible and explain properly. Do not be aggressive, do not swear or that type of stuff towards Hasbro, otherwise you're going to get nothing accomplished at all. Right? This is a good choice, where they basically just throw this out there. We're like, hey, you can actually message, what is this? This is like the PR email, so they can actually listen. This is a good opportunity to explain, hey, let's say you're in New Zealand or you're in the UK. Hey, we have this really big scene. We'd love to work with you. There are a lot of older fans who play and enjoy the hobby. Things like that can go a super, super long way. This is a lot more productive than, let's say, just throwing a fit or whatever. So respectful on the email. I think if you're going to do that and you actually want your voice to be heard, you have to do it in a respectful manner. Otherwise, again, you will kill the cause, you will kill it, and they will not listen. And yeah, I don't know. I keep on saying this, but I think it would be a great opportunity, if not this year, let's say next year, they can do something better, or part of this year, maybe start listening a little bit more. They just need to do more of an effort. Like, I feel like I'm a broken record. I've talked with Nizimas so many times on how the marketing's really bad, how there's really no advertisement, they're not really understanding the fans' demand and all this stuff. Like, if Hasbro is maybe taking, like, let's say take 10 steps forward on good things they've been doing, let's say the choices that they pick on products or whatever, or doing, let's say, cool collaboration stuff, and then they take like 20 steps back on other shit that's like, they don't need to be doing these mistakes. Even Beyblade in general has been like, how many times have we had a product release that is released way before the intended release date? Now, Hasbro can't control distribution, whatever, but why is Hasbro doing like an Instagram story on Cobalt Dragoon? Why not talk about CX? Did they actually push CX a lot in their marketing posts? This is... They need to, like, I think fire is very harsh, but they need to really look at the team that is working the marketing. They need to look at the team that is up and above, that is making choices for Beyblade, for the Hasbro division, for all this stuff. But not for all of Hasbro, because I know that, for an example, let's say in the Australian community, they do have a good relationship, but they need to understand that they are doing mistakes they don't need to do. Like, this is mistakes that are, like, rookie mistakes to them. So, I don't know. This is like what Spin Master actually did do this with Bakugan, where they did try to push this quite a bit with a lot of influences and whatever, and Bakugan's a dead as fuck hobby. Nobody cares about Bakugan, but they at least tried. It's a hard hobby to get into. Beyblade's just going to always be successful. You can't make Bakugan, but they tried at least. Spin Master did at least try something. I don't know. But again, they need to just understand the message. And I think this is also a good point that I think I actually do agree with a lot, that Hasbro just views this as a children's toy, which technically speaking it is, but they don't view it on like the Asia marketing that they've tried to push on the older audience. But I don't know, I think it's only some sections, whatever, because I know, for an example, US still at least got that 13+, which is great. Mexico still got that opportunity, and Australia got 2 opportunities. That's great. They just need to understand. Yeah, in the marketing for Beyblade X, they tried to push this as for everyone. This is like for all ages, whatever. I think they did say, and someone has to find the article, I think it was on Yahoo Japan or something like that, but they did say, oh, a lot of our sales do come from an adult audience or whatever. And yeah, of course that makes sense. That's who's going to actually have the cast, right? But that's how it is, and I'm going to be leaving a link to this tweet after this live is done. Again, if you want to have your voice heard, whatever. I should also say this, that either way, and this is something I also realized, that okay, at the end of the day, the only real difference between like a super well-run fan event and like Hasbro is literally just the name and the brand. So if for whatever reason they still don't listen this year or next year, there are still great fan communities that are working super, super hard. For an example, right? Anime North, we had a lot of people play, a lot of people have fun, a lot of great moments with the community. So even if it can't be on the official stage, there are still other ways you can enjoy the hobby. So I want to say that in case like there's like some super negative or whatever, like, oh, I'm really upset, or this is like, I'm upset too, but I'm trying to look at like other avenues for whatever could work that's like positive or whatever. So I think I was pretty fair on this. I think I was very respectful on this for how I could kind of put out that message towards Hasbro. And I think, again, like I'll say, they have an opportunity to do good. They just got to stop doing stupid shit. I think it's pretty easy. Now, other Hasbro stuff I forgot to talk about. Shout out Cypress, by the way. They put Samurai Saber, it's called Saber Samurai, I think, and then after the anniversary bays, which I thought was really cool. So that's our segue before we kind of talk about that stuff there. That's for the, am I pointing the right, I am pointing the right way. I guess we're going to get an anniversary. I think I'm pretty sure I even saw like the Double Extreme or whatever. There's like so many listings for Hasbro that are under weird code names. I'm pretty sure we are going to get a literal anniversary set like we did originally, which I think is going to be cool. Hopefully the price is not too bad. I'm actually, because they do have the regular names that are spelled in the original Japanese names. It's not like Victory Valtryek or whatever, which I thought, hey, that's good, because I hate the localized names. They just sound really bad to me, but I understand maybe if they had to change it for whatever reason. Saber, I think, is supposed to release in some type of launcher thing. I actually am not sure. I think it's in some launcher set or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. What else do we got? Apparently, Cobalt Drake is being released in a stadium in October. Not confirmed, though. Actually, wait. Where do I go? Where do I go? I have to go on that big image now, since we're on the free discussion now. Yeah, I have heard about this. I'm pretty sure. So, obviously, I've reported on those listings, whatever, from, like, what is it? I think I did this video, the one where I was, like, holding the Aero Pegasus chip or whatever, in like May or something, or not May, no, this was like April, Marchish. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but that was like up until September. So I knew the listings up until that point. I think the next time I'm supposed to see is probably in August, whatever. I'm pretty sure that sounds right either way, just because they've done this in like Beyblade Burst, where they eventually release some Bay and some expensive set or whatever, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. Which would mean that for every rare Bay cycle, it would be 2 years. So Cobalt Drake, 2023. 2024 Silver version, 2025 normal release. It's kind of a little bit fucked up if it's in a stadium, because that's going to be like a pain in the ass to import. I would also probably assume that Aero Pegasus would be the same way, so we'd probably get some rare version of it, whatever, that's like for like the burst finish, maybe like whatever time frame the Drake was. But then also, like, when is Hasbro going to do it? Because now if TT is normalizing a release for it, like, I think for Hasbro it would be every 3 years, because I don't think they would release Drake this year. They'd probably release it next year, which is really sad. Doesn't Xeno have a different mold on the hold launcher? Yes and no. I have seen some Xeno launchers that are improved, and I've seen some launchers where it's the same issue. So it's quality, every time it's always quality control issues. But I obviously prefer if Cobalt was some kind of cheaper way, like in a random booster or whatever, because that's like an easier chance to pull. Stadium set is really, really bad because of import cost. That little Bay of the 3-pack, whatever, is not nearly as bad. Pegasus Blast. I want to hold off on Pegasus because I think in 2 weeks we're going to figure it out, right? Yeah, actually, technically 2 weeks. Literally 2 weeks. Literally 2 weeks. I broke my whole launcher day one. I had one bad one and one good one, I think. I think I had 2 bad ones, 1 good one. I don't even remember, but when's the Hover Wyvern testing video coming out? Probably this week? I don't know. Because the thing that won the poll is not what we did the testings for. Because we did it for attack stuff. I think defense won. So I actually have to record it. So, I don't know. Whenever it comes out is whenever it comes out is usually my answer. But, yeah, aside from that, if there's any other free discussion you want to go for, I will do it. To be honest, if Hasbro does Cobalt Drake, I think it'd be best to maybe make it an Amazon exclusive. That way, yeah, they usually do Amazon exclusive. Do we have a website or social media page with the updated tournament reports? I don't know what you mean by that. I also got a defective drop stadium on the top of the plastic dome. Did not have the holes the pegs to secure it in. Well, the stadium's a hazard either way. I literally got my hands hit like right. I think I showed it in the video that when I said, "Oh, the Bay's doing the gimmick," it's because my hand got hit by Drawn Buster. Is the Kerbex homage confirmed? It's not confirmed, but I'm saying it's going to happen. For July, it's going to be Rock Leon. Pretty much whatever I did in that prediction video is like 90% probably going to happen. For at least the July stuff. Rock Leon, because it's the next one either way. That's the most obvious one. It has to be Kerbex, because, one, Kerbex is, I think it's one of the most iconic ones they've done in the second season of Metal Masters, or Metal Fight Explosion. And then the Pegasus Blasting, we already knew from the leaks and stuff. How many bays have you broken? Drawn Dagger, that was my first one. What else did we lose? Wizard Rod, that was from Impact Drake, but not really, because I've used it over so many times. Silver Wolf, so 3. I got Hasbro Dronzer. It was really light. 27.17. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think there's any more collab base? There is the Star Wars one that I think's been popping up, and I think Minnesota, I think. That's the Grievous and the Obi-Wan. I think the Captain America one's supposed to be coming soon. I'm not too sure. Do you think maybe the Pegasus Blast we see is just a recolor, not the... No. The Koro Koro one is the official colors. The red one is supposed to be the same thing as the Black Cobalt Dragoon, like some sort of event or rare variant. I'm getting Shelter Drake Random Select on Monday in a White String Launcher, so do you have any combo recommendations? Low height attack stuff or defense stuff? Don't ask me about Gill Shark, because Gill Shark's depressing. I agree with everything that you said on the marketing situation with Beyblade. It's not the only issue with Hasbro in the US, but other countries like Asia, except Japan and the Philippines. That makes sense as well. Yeah, that would also be true, that they do have to do a better job, or at least push like the fans connected to whatever, like to Kiritomi or Hasbro, to do that job for them. Bays. If they hollow out Rock, I'll be sad. I mean, the thing is this, is that Lightning El Drago is shit. Well, it's mid. It's at least more usable because of that RNG. Pegasus is shit. I can't use it for anything. Leon is like, it could be 30. We already saw Golden Rock is good, so if Leon was a close enough weight, it could probably be good, but they're going to find some way to mess it up. Have the CX Strike Blade be rubber and call it Meteor Drake. Actually be pretty cool. Do you know that the Malaysia Youth and Education Ministry recognized Beyblade as an actual sport? That is something I remember talking about a while back. What can you do about the tourney? Well, it's literally what we talked about like 20 minutes ago, where I'm like, you can email them politely in their PR and explain, hey, my community has a lot of adult players or older audience, that type of stuff. When you think they will release Rubber Needle? When they come to that point, when they do the next Night Beyblade, I don't know. I want a full Hasbro collab deck. Any ideas? I mean, they only have really their properties of what? Marvel, Star Wars, Transformers. I don't know if they'll do anything else. Any idea how I can approach a 21 plus barricade to ask if they're a host? Well, I wouldn't know about that. I would not have any good idea. And to be clear, anyways, for the championship stuff, nothing can be done this year, but next year maybe, or in general. So, yeah, I think we kind of hit the wall now for most of the stuff I've been able to talk about. So I'll kind of go over a general recap, whatever. So one, I do want to thank everyone for the support of May. May's actually been my best month this year for the channel performing. So huge thank you to everyone for all the support. It does motivate me quite a bit. But for June, for that update, I will still try to be pushing uploads, whatever. I do need to force myself to finish up that Bay history, which I'm probably going to be trying to record tomorrow. I've been literally just delayed just on everything else, and it's one of those things where once you start delaying it, it's like you really want to work on it, but then after it becomes really tough. The last thing I need to record is literally just like the parts section, I think, for Lightning El Drago. And then after it's just VFX stuff. And the VFX stuff, ironically enough, takes less time to do for me than the literal getting of the shots for all that B-roll, whatever. So I don't know. I think ironically, by the time I finish the big history, it's going to be probably a year from when the X over El Drago came out. So I don't know. What else? I'm going to be pretty much dead after September. Oh, that sounds really bad. I'm going to pretty much be on hiatus, because saying dead sounds... I don't mean it literally. I'm going to have my wisdom teeth surgery the following week. That's going to be on like the other side of the mouth. And it literally has been painful. So I'm going to be trying to prepare uploads all for that following week, whatever. But no guarantee. So you probably will see a lack of uploads for part of June. Maybe on the other half of June you'll see some stuff. Because my thing is super close to the nerve. And it's a lot of pain just to recover. So I don't know how long it's going to take me. It could take me maybe the same time frame, maybe more, maybe less. It sucks for me because I like going to the gym, but obviously I can't go to the gym while I'm recovering from my wisdom. So, yeah, that's kind of it for pretty much most of the news and discussion. But I'll make sure to link any tweets or whatever. And again, as I'll always specify, be respectful. Make sure if you're going to say anything to Hasbro that you do it in a way that is productive to the conversation, not destructive. Is there anything else I can think of before I end off? Anything at all? Anything at all? No? Oh, the Canada Post situation from Olive Bays, right? This is like a thing that I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping before the end of this month in June that's coming up, everything works out. We use Canada Post, but I think they're going on strike. Hopefully it gets resolved. Otherwise, in the worst case scenario, like let's say the strike goes on until a long period of time, I will find out the best way possible to try to get out anything shipped. Just it's out of my hands because this is literally just like they got to do something where we don't get the same delay we got on the holidays, because I literally had like so much shit that took weeks to actually get here, and I tried to make sure before any strikes started I got everything shipped out. So yeah, please have a safe weekend, everyone. Have a wonderful June. Hope your May went well, and hopefully I did this explosion right. Take care and bye.